Meeting members, and good afternoon, everyone. Before I get to the overview of the chamber and how the members of Parliament should conduct themselves while in the chamber, I think it is worth noting to state firstly that our Parliament, the Sierra Leone Parliament, is a unicameral legislature, which means we only have one chamber. Unlike other parliaments in other jurisdictions that has bicameral legislature, for instance, the UK, they have two chambers, the House of Lords and the House of Commons. But for us in Sierra Leone, we have one chamber. So moving on to an overview of the chamber, or looking at the structure, our own chamber, you all will agree with me, honorable members, that you have noticed that where the speaker sits and presides as a presiding officer on a raise is called a dais. And it's a raised platform where the speaker sits and presides. It is called a dais, D-A-I-S. You may want to look that up. Below the speaker, we have clerks on the table. You may have also noticed clerks, 3 of them usually sitting below the speaker, dais, all robed in wigs and gowns. These people are called the clerks at the table. The clerks at the table, we have those who are basically there for procedures of the chamber, and those who are there for bills. Below the clerks at the table, you all may agree with me that we have an inner circle in the middle of the chamber. And that circle contains a lot. You have a pilot chair and a black lectern, if you can call it that way. That is where a minister sits and pilot legislations. And close to that, we have the table of the House. The table of the House has 2 small boxes at the side. These small boxes are where papers are being made, be it constitutional instruments, statutory instruments, agreements, or the likes. This is where papers are being laid. And in the middle of that table, we have the maze. The maze is very important. Also, there is, in front of the table, they have the table of the House. We have a chair where the Sergeant at Arms sits. The Sergeant at Arms is the maze bearer. He is responsible to bring or process with the speaker into the house or chamber with the maze. Also, at the entrance of the chamber, you may have noticed where the speaker and procession comes in. It's like an aisle where the speaker comes into the chamber. That position or procession takes place and is called a vestibule. A vestibule, you may want to check up as a chamber or the channel opening. So that small aisle that the speaker processes into the chamber called a vestibule. Then we have the galleries, both lower and upper galleries. The lower galleries are for diplomats and strangers. And the upper gallery are also for strangers and the press. So that is basically what will describe our chamber. Then we move on to talk about the importance of the maze. The maze is the symbol of authority of the speaker. Without the maze in the chamber, no proceeding shall take place. That shows you how powerful that instrument is. If we are to describe the maze, it is a silver kind of instrument and has the coat of arms on it, and some drawings that reflect our natural resources 5 diamond, and so. Now, one thing honorable members should note, when once the maize is laid on the table, members are not allowed to cross the aisle. You should not do that. And when there is an incident, when once the maize is laid on the House's table in the middle, no honorable member of Parliament is allowed to cross the aisle. You are not supposed to cross the aisle. Moving from one feet to the other, just like that. Moving from your seat, crossing your seat, moving across the table and going to the other seat, across the other end, not the same end, across the other end. Honorable members of Parliament, and of course any other member, any other staff, but honorable members of Parliament in particular. Of course, you know the maize is in custody of the Sergeant at Arms, because he is the maize bearer, carries the maize into the chamber and out of the chamber along the Speaker's procession. And most importantly, the symbol, the maize is also a symbol of enforcing peace and order within the gyms. Now we come to dress code, which is very important for honorable members of Parliament. It is expected that honorable members of Parliament dress official. Official, I mean, if you are putting on suits, male members of Parliament, please make sure you put on tie. For female honorable members of Parliament, sleeveless tops or dress are not allowed. You should always make sure that you dress decent and properly at all times. Now, having said all of this, there are 5 key takeaways that I would want honorable members to remember or take away with them in terms of comporting themselves while in the chamber. Firstly, honorable members should ensure that when they enter the chamber, before taking their seats, they should bow to the Speaker. You bow to the Speaker and then take your seat while sitting is ongoing. In the same vein, if you want to exit the chamber, get up from your seat, bow to the Speaker, and you leave the chamber. And all of these must be done with perfect decorum. Also, you may agree with me that our mobile phones should always be in silent mode, because the Speaker deserves respect. He should be heard in silence. Also, honorable members should endeavor, again I would stress on this, should endeavor to dress well during sittings. And of course, honorable members are expected to respect the maize, which is the symbol of authority. Now, there are times when we are dealing with bills. The process is the maize, when we get to committee stage, the maize is covered. And when the maize is covered, the table clerks or the clerks at the table take off their wigs, and at that point, Mr. Speaker will be referred to as Mr. Chairman. After the deliberations at committee stage, when the House resumes into plenary, the maize will be uncovered, and clerks at the table put on their wigs again, and Mr. Speaker will now be referred to as Mr. Speaker. With these few points, I hope honorable members will be able to carry this point along and remember to carry themselves well in the chamber while sitting is ongoing at all times. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you.